Very good evening, friends. Meeting again in the session of Madhya Medica. We are discussing the remedies which are more useful in our day-to-day practice and which are always needed in our day-to-day homeopathic practice. So today we're going to discuss one of the very important remedy from our Madhya Medica, that is Aethuja Cynapium. It's a wonderful remedy because it has very specific actions, and those actions are unique. You can utilize this remedy in acute state as well as a chronic state. This remedy has nearly about 20 to 30 days of action, and a remedy which can treat both acute phases as well as chronic phases. Where there is a lactose intolerance, this remedy one should not forget in day-to-day practice. And that's why I'm going to share something first, a case, wonderful case treated by me very early in my practice, because it was in fact 1995-96 in the evening. Around at that time I used to practice till 9 o'clock, and around 8:30, from very poor family, a child was brought, nearly about 1.5 years child, in a drowsy state, was brought to me, looking toxic, not opening the eyes properly, and he was in a status epilepticus. He is brought like this, and he was, and 2 3 people all of a sudden entered in my clinic, and they told me history that in the morning this child had 2 3 vomitings. They took this child to the pediatrician, who observed. He said that it is necessary to admit, but they were from poor socio-economic condition. They said you prescribe the remedy, and that child was got some allopathic medicines, antibiotics and antipyretic, etc., antiemetics, and the child was taken home. And all of a sudden, this child has started giving up epileptic convulsions. And that's why they ran directly towards me, because they used to remain nearby my OPD. So they entered, and child was like this, that he is having this. And in Marathi, they talked one sentence, Dr. बाळाने डोळे पांढरे केले. He has made his eyes white, and it was looking like white. This is the condition, and it was looking absolutely white. And this child was like jerking with this, and this trismus, their jaws were locked, and this condition. Here, the question of observation comes when you deal with such types of cases in acute OPD. You can handle, but your observation plays very important role. I just was observing that child. He was in that condition. I was just observing each and everything. His jaws were completely locked. He was not able to open the jaw, and he was jerking, and he was at that same time totally drowsy, and his thumbs were clenched like this. This is very important thing. Clenched thumbs, and eyes were turning downwards. This is the condition. Total eyes were turning downwards. Then I asked how this has started. Just one question I asked, and they told this history. I asked what he has consumed. They told that in the morning he regularly he used to consume the whatever is there in our daily routine food, but today he has consumed a cup of milk, and thereafter he started getting the vomiting. So we took him to the doctor, and whole story started. Then I asked how much, what he has consumed thereafter after giving your medicines. They said that he has not consumed anything, not even a drop of water, not at all. We have pushed forcefully the medicines which were given by doctor, but that also he has vomited, and this had happened. Case was very clear with me. The locked jaw, with clenched thumbs, with eyes turning downwards, with epileptic spasm, a drowsy state, a thirstless child, a toxic child. Very typical and started with the milk. So it was very clear cut Aethuja. What I have done, I have put directly 1 drop Aethuja Cynapium 200 in the child's mouth directly, opening this and one. I observed the reaction. I was observing what happens after giving the Aethuja. And after putting the drop inside the mouth, within a minute, whole body gets relaxed. Which was in spasm, that was relaxed. Thereafter, 15 minutes, I was observing that child because OPD was just on finishing. I was finishing that day's OPD. I was just observing. I asked them to keep him on the clinical table. That's all. And I was observing. And after that, when his muscles relax, he's completely gone into a sleep, totally relaxed. In 15 minutes, he had no more attack. And then I asked, tell me tomorrow, bring him tomorrow morning. Next day morning, when child was brought and absolutely fresh, and they were happy because he was absolutely fresh and he has consumed the food, he has consumed the water, and he was playing like a normal child. So acute is the Aethuja Cynapium need section. So acute. It is a wonderful remedy. If it is a perfect remedy, it is a wonderful remedy which produces very perfect results. It was wonderful to observe that. And that was the unique thing which I have observed, that Aethuja has this specific action. So if you are able to catch, don't forget few things about the Aethuja. First, thirstlessness. Second, drowsy state. Third, milk intolerance. Fourth, if epilepsy, eyes turn downwards. Then clenched thumbs and jerks and spasms. Finish. This is Aethuja Cynapium. Very clear-cut idea. Then you observe that if you observe the Aethuja Cynapium child, they looks little bit idiotic like Barataka. In observation, they looks like idiotic, little bit Barata element you can observe in Aethuja child. Epilepsy and generally idiocy has little bit correlation. If idiocy associated with 100% epilepsy and convulsions happens at night, before Anna. Before is fixed. Epilepsy with dwarfism with epileptic attack at night. Wonderful remedies before Anna. I have cured the case wonderfully with the help of before, completely cured. So these things which you have to observe, then you can catch all those things from the patient and you can prescribe the remedy. So we'll now enter to read the Allen's keynotes, the Aethuja Cynapium, what Allen says about the Aethuja Cynapium. It is full sparsely. Umbelliferi is the family. See, first sentence, very important, and there the action is defined, especially for the children during dentition in hot summer weather. First sentence, hot summer weather, during dentition, dentitional problems. And third important thing, children who cannot tolerate milk or cannot bear milk, written in bold. And this is very, very, very specific. Many a times, allopaths don't have answer to such questions. Their children were brought to them, doctor, yala dudh pachat nahi. They labeled lactose intolerance, but they don't have a weapon to fight against that. We have a very good remedy, is the Aethuja Cynapium. So the things which are mentioned in our Mater Medica has its own value, which are written as it is what the patient says. We never labeled lactose intolerance. We used to find it out what patient says. That is more important. Great weakness, underline. You observe the weakness, you observe the drowsiness, that is more important. Fresh child is not at all Aethuja. Keep it in your mind. Even though the lactose intolerance is there, milk intolerance is there, but child is fresh, it is not Aethuja Cynapium. Great weakness. Children cannot stand. They are not able to stand that much of weakness, unable to hold the head. That is because of vomiting, because of weakness which has developed secondary to it. It is not like abrotanum where there is a assimilation which is causing the difficulty in holding the neck. Abrotanum comparison is there, but comparison abrotanum, it has protein energy malnutrition. Here it is not protein energy malnutrition. Here it is vomiting which has induced because of such a thing. So here the things which you have to differentiate first, you should be able to clear is what exactly mentioned by the mentioned in the remedies. So great weakness, children cannot stand, unable to hold up the head, prostration with sleepiness. Again, I will tell you, this is the keynote. There is prostration with sleepiness. Drowsiness is more marked. That is toxic state of the Aethuja Cynapium, like gelsemium. Gelsemium is also thirstless. Aethuja is also thirstless. Gelsemium is also drowsy. Aethuja is also drowsy. In Aethuja, you have typical vomiting. You have typical convulsions. Gelsemium, you will get more of a fever, more of a body ache, more of a viral attacks, more of a headache. So state expresses in a different manner, having common symptoms in there. Idiocy in children. See the word, very important. Idiotic facial appearance. You observe, it looks like Barata. Barata, because we label Barata with idiocy, and that's why it is simple that it looks like Barata, but it is not Barata. Incapacity to think and confused. If you ask any question, what is your name? There is no capacity to think, to answer your question. Already they are in a disease state, already they are in a drowsy state, and it is impossible to get the answer. An expression of great anxiety and pain that is very marked. Whenever the patient is brought to you, either with GI troubles, either with convulsion, there is a severe anxiety which you can observe over there. The pain is there with a drawn condition. Drawn condition means it has been pulled, everything is pulled inside. The face is sunken, doesn't have a strain, then it is absolutely drowsy, absolutely weak. And you in Marathi we call it काय चेहरा ओढल्यासारखा झालाय, चेहरा पार पडलाय. That those are the things which they used to use common language. With well-marked linea nasalis. This well-marked linea nasalis comes whenever the face is withdrawn. When dehydration happens, it becomes prominent. That is very typical in Aethuja Cynapium. So, see, these are the things which you have to observe. These things, if presented by the patient, you can very easily prescribe the remedy. And that's what he wants to explain. Features expressive of pain and anxiety. Herpetic eruptions on the end of the nose. The eruptions over there, they looks like herpetic, herpes simplex, like Rustock's eruptions. Rustock's, it is around the mouth, lower lips or around the lips, herpetic eruptions are there. Here it is more on the nose. In arum triphyllum, it is there, but in arum triphyllum, the eruptions are because of the nasal discharge more. There are cracks and eruptions are there. That is arum triphyllum. So every remedy has its own essence over there, and that's what you have to catch over there. Complete absence of thirst, given in italics, and in bracket he has written two remedies, Epis and Pulse, thirstless remedy, Gelsemium, thirstless remedy, Nux moschata, thirstless remedy. Reverse of arsenic, arsenic more thirsty, thirst for sips of water continuously, that is more thirsty. See, the things which you should keep it in your mind again and again. Thirstless remedy, at least make a list of remedies. You must know at least 5 thirstless remedies. If you are a student and you are appearing for vivas, you must know the list of 5 thirsty remedies, 5 thirstless remedies, 5 epileptic remedies. At least these are the things because this helps in your therapeutics also. Intolerance of milk given in bold. Cannot bear milk in any form. It is vomited in large curds as soon as taken. So milk is consumed and it is vomited and it is in curdy form. Then weakness causes drowsiness. This is the very important thing. Here, milk intolerance reflected in the gastritis, vomiting, and vomiting is curd-like. There he has written compare Maccabe. Maccabe is also having problem with the milk, but Maccabe has more diarrhea than the vomiting. The milk passes undigestably in Maccabe. It is in the stools. Here it is in vomiting. This is the difference. Second important difference is that drowsy state which you can see in Aethuja Cynapium, which you cannot see in Maccabe. Indigestion of teething children. Indigestion of teething children, violent, sudden vomiting of frothy, milk-white substance or yellow fluid, followed by curdled milk and cheesy matter. And this is the action of the effusion. Teething children having a vomiting, the remedy is, and specifically if it is because of milk, then always think about the effusion as a first remedy. If it is in the curd form, it is yellowish, white, cheesy like, then it is always the first remedy is always the Aethuja Cynapium, and you can give it in 200. Better moderate potency, no need to go very high because this remedy has an acute action, and that's why you don't have to even 30 also many times use useful. Regurgitation of food an hour or so after eating, copious greenish vomiting. So whenever patient has consumed something after 1 hour, within an hour, the vomiting starts, regurgitation starts, and it starts getting vomited, and greenish vomiting is there. So see, these are the things one must know. It indicates that there is always a correlation between the gallbladder greenish vomiting. That is also indicative of cholecystitis also. Epileptic spasm. These convulsions one must underline. Epilepsy. This is wonderful remedy. Epileptic spasms with clenched thumbs, red face, eyes turned downwards, eyes turned upwards is cuprum metallicum. Pupils are fixed and dilated. Foam at the mouth. That is one more important feature. One that was there with that case also. The foam at the mouth. Jaws are locked. Jaws are locked. Pulse small, hard, and quick. There is a tachycardia. Pulse is small. Small means which is not having full volume. Small, hard, and quick. Very fast tachycardia. That is because of this convulsion and toxicity which has developed because of it. Weakness and prostration with sleepiness. Again, very, very important thing. Very important. Weakness and prostration with sleepiness after vomiting, after stool, and after spasm. So every time after vomiting, there is weakness, prostration, sleepiness. After stools, it is there. After spasm, it is there. So if every complaint, it is followed by weakness, followed by drowsiness, followed by prostration. This is very important feature. So remedy is fully defined in those paragraphs, and that's what we can observe in the cases very easily. Relationship similar to anti-improved, arsenic album, calcarea, and sanicula. Uh, this is calcarea carb is complementary to the Aethuja Cynapium. So these children can, after completing getting cured, must give the calcarea cup to prevent the recurrence. Calcarea is more depicting than Aethuja Cynapium. It might be a constitutional many times, and that's why a dose of calcarea after patient is settled after Aethuja Cynapium always helps. So calcarea cup complementary to the Aethuja given in boric, I'm damn sure about it. It has nearly about 20 to 30 days action. Aggravation after eating, aggravation after drinking, aggravation after vomiting, and after stool, after spasm. These are very important modalities. Every time the patient eats, child eats, vomiting, there is a vomiting, there is a problem. After drinking, there is a problem. After vomiting, the weakness, prostration, drowsiness comes. After stool, after spasm, all those things comes again and again. And this is Aethuja Cynapium child. So in exams also they add Aethuja Cynapium child. You have to write this whole story. This is very commonly a children's remedy, very specific, having the action on children. And that's why one should not forget the Aethuja Cynapium. It's a wonderful remedy in practice, in children's practice, specifically pediatric practice. Those who are doing the PG, pediatric PG, my suggestion is that find it out the remedies which are having very specific action in the pediatric age group like Aethuja Cynapium, Calcarea cup, the Barretta cup. There are many more, Chistina, the Chamomilla, the Sanicula, the Rheum, Mac cup. These are remedies which you must make a list of pediatric remedies and which are very useful, comes again and again in our practice. And you go on reading Allen's because Allen's gives you a thought of remedy. So once it is fixed in your mind, you can catch it easily. It should struck your mind at that time, specific time, and that's why Allen helps. So first, always keep concentration on Allen's keynotes, and then second is Borix Materia Medica. If you want to build up clinical practice, these are two very important Materia Medicas one should not leave. So that's all regarding the Aethuja Cynapium. Tomorrow we'll meet with another remedy which will be useful in our day-to-day practice. Thanks being attending the session, and my suggestion to all of you, if any queries there, we can discuss or ask your friends to join our this activity. All of your students, student group, because these are remedies, wonderful remedies in our day-to-day practice. If they learn by heart, it will be very useful for all of you in your practice, and even from exam point of view, these are very important. So thank you being there. Any queries there? We have a time. Tomorrow, herpetic eruptions at nose means in Aethuja, does it include shingles too? No, shingles is herpes zoster. It is not herpes zoster, it is herpes simplex. Herpes simplex is a viral infection which generally appears around the mouth, around the lips, or up in the nasal folds. It is herpes simplex having similar viruses, but it has not the directly a burning sensation which is called with herpes zoster. Here it is a typical fever blister. We can see it looks like fever blisters, herpetic eruptions around now. They are little bit having a fungal appearance. That is what is herpetic eruptions. From tomorrow is Dasera. So on the occasion of Dasera, a warm wishes to all of you. And tomorrow around 11 o'clock, a YouTube series will be starting, Arogyavardhini, and I'm lucky enough that it has started. It will be starting with homeopathy. There will be lectures from homeopathy, Ayurveda, allopathy, different branches of allopathy. Many peoples are there. I am the person who will going to contribute from homeopathic point of view nearly about it will be around 20, 25, 30 lecture series will be there every weekly, and tomorrow it is starting with homeopathy first. So it's a wonderful, it is Marathi word. It is for layman, it has been prepared by a big YouTube channel, Artharth channel, and they are shooting for 5, 6 sessions have been already done. So it is tomorrow the opening is there with the homeopathy first. So tomorrow there will be lecture. I will share my as it has been opened around 11 o'clock. I will share that with all of you in the group. Please go through that and share it with your all your friends. It will be a common talk regarding the homeopathy, what homeopathy is there, then how homeopathy works, then where homeopathy works, why it is so scientific, all those things. In that, it is a question and answer series. It's a good one prepared over there. So it will be useful for everyone. So thanks a lot, and we'll meet again tomorrow at the same time. Even though the Dasara is there, lecture will be there. Thanks a lot. Good night.